Welcome back, and today what we're doing is we are going to be testing out Elysia. Now, we are going to be testing out Elysia at A0, A1, A3, and A5. So, the way I'm going to be doing this test is the best that I feel I can in this current situation. She's not going to be in my best Soulbound Arcana gear. She's going to be in kind of the backup set. She's still going to have pretty good stats, almost 20k attack. Let's see. A 1.6 second attack interval and 238% crit damage. Not stats that are blowing anybody away, but solid enough. And I'm going to have her in a Realm Tear. Now, I was trying to figure out what kind of artifact to throw her in. I was like, okay, well, I could throw her in Scarlet Hunt. That's 30% extra damage. But it's only when they're inflicted with bleed. The only bleed champions that I have in this comp are Kigiri and Twyla. They're not going to keep it up 100% of the time, and it's not really a fair test if her damage is reliant on them putting the debuff up. I was also thinking Flux Pendant. Increase crit damage by 30%. When she drops below 50%, the increase is doubled. Well, honestly, I don't know how often she's going to be under 50%. So that's a fluctuation in itself. I was also thinking Frigid Flame. The guild boss does damage regularly. It doesn't really change, but this is still a variable. I was also thinking Wailing Skull, but that has the same issue. It's a 40% chance to summon a Shadow Guard. This may fluctuate, and I'm pretty sure that counts towards Elysia's damage. I could have put her in this, which would be a solid choice as well, but that's also really not doing any benefit for her. It's 12% attack, or 12% damage once she reaches max stats. And that doesn't go away, that's just permanent after it maxes out. This, it's more of a defensive artifact, and she's not really doing AoE damage. So this isn't going to really do anything for us either. Yeah, one enemy. So I came to the conclusion, I'll just throw her in a Realm Tear. Realm Tear, I can control, I can put her in the exact same spot every time. And that's how we can do the tests. Everybody else is geared fairly well. This isn't just her going in here. This is going to be the team that I plan on trying to use, but I may have to make some fluctuations in here. So she's going to be the Arbiter's, yeah, what do you call it? Lord. I had a complete brain fart there, because I don't have Praetus. And I'm pulling Leia out of here for her. Now, the problem with that is I'm losing a healer. So to compensate for that, I'm hoping Constance with her exclusive helps out a bit. And she's in her exclusive artifact, which increases her healing multiplier as well. I'm hoping that helps a bit, but we will see. And apart from that, normally I would have Arrogance in my Realm Tear, but he's just going in the Flux Pendant for now. I could probably max out another Realm Tear. Let me see that real quick, actually. I wish there was a faster way to enhance these. Yeah, I definitely could max out another one, but he's not going to be at the back area where he needs to be, so he'd only be getting... What's that? He's not going to get the max benefit. He's going to be... Oh, there is no real max benefit, but he's not going to be in the very back row where she's going to be. So the way I'm going to do this test is I'm going to do one full phase of Apocalypse 2. I'm going to go through all 3 of the stages, and then I'm going to quit as soon as the poison stage resets. So for reference, we'll do a quick run here. And what I'll probably do is it'll probably be a bit of a time lapse for you. I will do this first run through, kind of showing you what I'm going to be doing. And then I'll do probably 2 to 3 runs of the exact same way. So first things first, I'm going to pause this right at the beginning. Elysia is going to go down first. Okay? No. Yes. Because nobody else's damage really matters. So she's going to go down first. She's going to go right here. So she gets max benefit from the Realm Tear. And then Torador is going to face her. Now the reason Torador is going to face her is because he is in the Wings of Glory set, I think it's called. So that's going to set him up. Then we can go ahead and set up Jira, her, him, and him. I messed up. No, I didn't mess up. Then we could pull him up, put her down here, and we will do it like that. So I am gonna wait till he starts doing his Death Saw to activate her. And what I'm going to do is every time I activate her, I'm going to activate Constance. And I will only do this when it hits 3 stacks. Everybody else could just do their regular stuff. Got -9, and Torador isn't even down. Helping out. Alright, so we are gonna wait a minute. Okay, so on the plus side, this next few runs will just be pretty much a time lapse, so won't have to worry about the noise in the background. We're gonna wait for this. And activate it. We can activate these 2. Activate her. She'll be at her permanent alt now. Now, Jira is doing a ton of damage. She's surprised me a lot. Twilo, we can just activate. We'll wait for Elysia. Like I said, we'll wait and activate her with Constance every time. Just that way we get true stuff out of her. And nothing we can really do about that shield. I will keep it as regular as possible, but unfortunately that's dependent mostly on Kigiri. Alright, now we'll get Torador back out, and he'll start providing a defense break. Now that defense break doesn't really help Elysia, because she does magic damage. So her magic damage is where she's dealing all her damage. We can go ahead and activate her. Like I said, this is not going to be the end all be all run. So This is mainly just demonstrating Elysia's damage. This is not the most efficient way to do Guild Boss 2. The efficient way would be wait till the middle phases on these early ones and then do the ults. Okay, and that is at 3 stacks. Acidic Venom is coming through. Let's go ahead and fix that. We only got a little bit left to go. All right. There we go. That may be her last ult. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be her last one. And we will wait until this goes away. And that's where we're going to end it. We'll wait till he gets his health bar back up. All right, there we go. So we're going to end it right there. And that is how we're going to be doing all of the tests. All of them will be stopped right there. And let's see. Elysia, 17k. Solid damage. That's pretty solid. So I will go ahead and screenshot that. And I will do pretty much a time lapse of the next 3 runs, or next 2 runs. I will come back when I A1 her, show all the gear that's the exact same, and then I'll do a time lapse of those runs, and then same with A3 and A5. So I will go ahead and get right into that now. Okay, I'm going to come back in here for just a moment. I have decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep everybody else's ults to a minimum except for the Supreme Arbiters. So these 4 are going to be the ones to mainly ult. That way I can have Elysia do all of the major damage, and it'll give a better top end for her rather than just how much she can get out in the time that everybody else kills it. So that's what I'm going to be doing from here on out. Okay, so I'm going to do that one more time, just with the way that I just started doing it. But we got 18-2 again. So this looks like about her base at A0, about 18 with this gear. So, you know, doing slightly less than Kigiri with the current gear. Kigiri is not ulting, though. So this is not a comparison with her. It's just a baseline. How much damage is she doing? So I will go ahead and do one more run at A0, and I'll be back with the A1 here shortly. All right, so looks like A0, she's pushing around 18. So, not bad. I can't complain about that. Now, we are going to go ahead and A1 her. Now, the reason I'm doing it like this is because I have a ton of soul stones. 1. 2, I only have 1 copy of her. So I can't exactly just do a side-by-side test of just swap the gear out to the next one. If I had 4 of her, I might blow all the soul stones to do this testing at multiple and keep, the copy. But I don't. So let's go ahead and look at this. This will double her ult damage, it seems. Well, double the lightning orb damage and increase the radiant erosion that she inflicts. So, cool. Let's see what that does for her. She is now A1. And that has upped the BP a little bit. So we will get right into that. Okay, so with the first run at all the awakenings that I'm doing, I will go ahead and do a full run with her before I do the time lapse. So let's go ahead and get these guys down. You, and then you, and then you. Alrighty. So we wait for that death saw to come through. Alright. Anytime now, there we go. That marks the start of our ulting with her. Now she does get stronger throughout her ult the longer the fight goes. Like, I think after 3 ults, she's at her max damage. That's why I'm not just doing it through this first phase, because this first phase, it goes too quick. She only gets 1 ult out during this first phase. But once we get to the later phases, then we'll be able to really, or pretty much after, at the 3rd phase, we're hitting the top damage, I believe. It would just be a little bit too long to try and go, okay, we're going to go through the first 2 rounds. That would just take too long. Okay, let's fast forward that a little bit. Do her ult, do that. And then put him down once it starts getting up. And Earth Shatter. Nope, we could go back on 2 times for a moment. And here we go. Back on 2 times for a moment. Let's go ahead and wait for that to be, and this is just about, there we go. I do think I've noticed an increase in her damage already. I'm thinking she'll be about 21, 22 instead of the 18, but we'll see. Her doing more damage is going to make the fight last a little bit less time. So it's kind of a catch-22 because she's going to be increasing her damage, but in this shorter term that we're doing, it's going to look like a little bit less damage, I'm thinking. Alright, as soon as that arm comes up, we can go ahead and do that. And we are nearing the final stretch of this first one. There we go. Now Jira is doing a ton of damage too because she is a 2. Almost clicked on that early. That was almost bad. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a heal. And it looks like that is going to end it out. Let's wait for him to stand back up. We're not going to get another ult out with her because Constance is not ready. And we are keeping it as clean as possible. And that health bar has reappeared now. So that is it. Let's see what she's at. She is at 21. Talk about a good guess. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mute the mic, and we are going to go back into time-lapse mode for 2 more runs. I screwed up that run a little bit, so I'm restarting it, making a clean test. All right, and that does it with the A1 testing. It looks like A1 made her damage go up a good little bit. All right, and now we are on to go to A3. So we got A1 and A0 out of the way. Let's go ahead and get that plus 200 attack, which will be good for her. And then her A3. Her A3, I don't... her A3 won't increase her damage at all. It doesn't look. But what it will do is it'll increase her survivability. So that's good. So we'll go ahead and get that. And then her A4 will increase her damage a little bit, and A5 should increase her damage a lot. But A3 first. And I say a lot, but it'll be a good little bit. Let's see. Let's see what she was at before. She was at... Okay, so she was gaining, well, this was her at A0. So, yeah, A3 or A2 increases her, attack at this level by what, 700? Yeah, about 700. It just by adding that extra, what was it, 200 attack? Yeah. So, good stuff. Let's go ahead and get this started. This should be about the same damage as A1. So let's find out. Nothing else has changed, just her awakening level. So that's a plus. There we go. Arrogance, Jira, Kigiri, Twyla, Constance, Alloin, Percy, and him. Alright. Let's go ahead and open this up to start with. I keep on forgetting to do that. Alright, and we are ready for that Death Saw to start. There we go. And then who's gonna be first? Jira's gonna be first, then that. Alright. Now, like I said, I don't expect this to increase her damage any, but the biggest thing is her survivability with that. Alright, let's go ahead and 2 times this till we get some ults ready to go again. Almost there. There we go. And then we're just waiting for Jira or that. Jira's gonna be first. And then that. And then we can place Torador back down. Alright, and it looks like we're back off to 2 times. Just to let that run on out. And we're back off 2 times because we are ready to ult with these 3. These 3 are the only ones that I'm ulting with now. The rest of them are going to sit there except for Percy when we need that cleanse, or that heal, and Eloin when we need that cleanse. We'll go ahead and keep it on 1 times just to get this trigger off here. And then back to 2 times just to wait for the next round. Next round of ults, that is. Arrogance we can't stop from ulting, so. But he's consistent, so that's a good thing. And there we go, that phase is done. And we are going to alt. Or not alt, but the Praetus button. And then when that arm comes up, we're gonna cleanse. There we go. She's ready with her alt. We're just waiting for the rest of them to be ready, and here we go. There we go. Now let's see. Yep, looks like she cleansed herself off. Okay, cool. That's huge for something like this. That allows that healing to go elsewhere. Okay. There's that damage. There's that. And we're just waiting for this Praetus button to max out. There we go. And that's gonna be the end of this run. Yep. Alright. And there we go. Let's see what her damage is. I imagine right around that 21. Again, that 21k should be about what it is. And let's see, 22. She did a little bit more damage. I don't know if the poison decreases your damage at all, but I will be back after this time lapse of 2 more runs so you can watch it, and we will keep going. I forgot to screenshot that one. Hopefully I could screenshot it out of the video, but let's go. Alright, so that does it for the last test at A3. This should be the same damage. Yep, about 22. So, we got about the same amount of damage as we have been. I only got 2 of those screenshots, but that's okay. Pretty much the way I am recording this is I have A0, I have my 4 screenshots there. I have A1, my 3 screenshots there. A3, which I only have 2 screenshots. I'll see if I can grab the other one, the first one, out of the video, but ultimately I don't really think it matters But next up, we are up to A5. So let's go ahead and A5 her and see where it goes. This should be a good bit of an increase in her attack, or in her damage. I'd say probably like 24 to 25 she should go up to. Because she's getting this increase in attack speed, which isn't much, but it is a little bit. And then we're also getting this lightning orb plus 6. Now this is the part that I'm thinking will up her damage a lot. Because that one, she provides in a one-on-one fight, like one boss and her, what this is doing is it is giving 3 more instances of damage and 3 more instances of radiant erosion. Or 6 more instances, because each one applies 2 because of her A1. When the lightning orb hits the hero, doubles the damage of the lightning orb's next bounce and inflicts 2 stacks of radiant erosion instead of 1. So, yeah, I mean, this extra 6 bounces should be pretty huge for her. And we are up to, let's see, up to 76. Her BP has gone up quite a bit too. I think that's like 7,000 in BP in just Awakenings. Solid. Let's see what her attack is. 1.5. So that 25 did bring it down 0.5 or 0.1 seconds. So I mean that's cool, but not super important, I don't think. In the long term, I mean, yeah, sure, that 0.1 second could be a good bit difference, but yeah. So let's go ahead and get this run underway. We'll do this one as we have the last ones on here, and then the last 2 will be time-lapse for you. So let's go ahead and get her down. Torador to buff her. Torador up. Arrogance. Jira. Twyla. Kigiri. Constance. Elowin. Fercy. And Alistar. And we could 2 times this just to get that first setup going. And we are waiting for that Death Saw to start now. That's that starting mark, that Death Saw starting. Alright, is Jiri gonna beat it out? She is. Alright, there we go. And oh, I forgot to pull that up. She's already doing a good bit of damage. Alright. Good stuff, good stuff. 2 times this, because we are waiting for them to be ready again. And there we go. Now we're just waiting for Jira, who should be the next up. Yep. Jira. There we go. Then we can put Torador down and do this Praetus button. And we are off to the races. Alright, we're just waiting for Constance to be ready now. And there we go. Now we're just waiting for that Praetus button to be ready. Because like I said, we're only hitting that when it hits 3 stacks. Just to keep it as consistent as possible. There we go. Now let's pull that back up to 2 times. Elysia is ready. We're going to be waiting on Constance again. There we go. They're going. And Elysia it cleanses that right off to start with because she's still getting that bounce. Still inflicting radiant erosion. let's go ahead and do this. And now we're waiting for Constance again. Oh, I forgot to do the clones. Oh well, that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Oh, we're waiting on Alistar this time. There we go. Alright. And this is gonna be pretty much the end of this fight. I definitely think she did more damage. She progressed this a lot faster. And there we go. Alright. And the final verdict. I say final verdict, but I got 2 more runs to do still. Final verdict here is 25. I was right about on the money. 25. I said 24, 25. Good stuff. I mean, she went from 17 to 18 to 25 from her A1 or A0 to A5. That's solid damage increase just in a short period of time. So I will go ahead and mute the mic. Oh, before I forget that, there we go. Got that screenshot. And I will go ahead and mute the mic again and be back after these two more runs. All right, and this is the moment of truth, 25. Now, I did fall out of sync a little bit there at the end, but 25, 26 seemed to be pretty consistent with what she was getting. So, all in all, her awakenings, are they worth it? In my opinion, yes. They are a large boost in damage for her in a very short period of time. I mean, she went up quite a bit of BP, and she increased her damage quite a bit, and her survivability went up quite a bit, and I'm pretty sure made Jira do more damage once she started giving more radiant erosion as well, because Jira, her A1, what it does is it consumes 1 stack of radiated erosion to deal additional damage equal to 4% of the hero's max HP. So that, and inflicts stun. So she increases her damage quite a bit as well. Yeah. She is very good for an epic lord, in my opinion. She's probably one of the better epic lords. The amount of work that went into this video was a ton. I've been recording now for probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours. You should get a much slimmer video. I'll probably do the time lapses at probably 4 to 5 times speed and just add some music in the background for you. I am not looking forward to editing it, I can tell you that much. But if you got anything out of this, I would definitely appreciate a like or subscribe or any of that for sure. Comment below if you want me to try her out in other places. She is A5 now, so it's going to have to be at A5. But to go over the gear that I had on her, attack bonus, and attack bonus. Now this had purple rolls. This also had a couple purple rolls. And then over here we had attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage, and attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage, and some survivability on there. So that's what I had on her. I'm sure there's other ways to build her. I have not gotten around to testing out the different ways to build her. Honestly, I'm gonna rate her 5-star there because she's an Arbiter Lord. But there's that. Void Rift, I imagine she's good there, so I'll rate her a 4-star there. I'm not gonna go through all of these. Oh, look at that. Faction Trials. There's no faction trial for her. Guild War, she's probably not going to be as good as Praetus, but she's probably going to be pretty good. Mortal Codex, I don't know, maybe. Gear Dungeon 2, Gear Raid 1, all of these she'll probably be pretty decent in. Anti-air DPS, she may not be great in, but yeah, why not? So, all in all, like I said, if you got anything out of this, I'd appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Let me know where you want me to use her next. Hope this helped you out. Hopefully, I can get her into a 120 run on my guild boss too. We'll see that later on today. Okay, so I am adding this in at the end of doing all of that testing because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up all of the screenshots and I'm just going to show them here. So this is at A0. We had 18k, 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 and 17k. So that was A0 for Elysia. A1, we have 3 screenshots here. And we have 21, 21, and 20. So that did increase her damage a little bit. A3, I did miss a screenshot. I'm not going to go back and try and retrieve that from the video. It's just not really worth it because we're looking at about the same damage. 21, 22. Let's see. Let's pull back up the A1. And we're at 21. Yeah, it's about the same damage from A1 to A3. So that's not that big of a deal. But now the A5 went up to 25, 26, and 25. Now these are in just one round, so the damage will go up over time. She's gonna be she ramps up until this point, and now she's gonna stay even right around there after 3 ults. Because if we look at the way she works, which I probably should have shown this a little bit earlier on, but that's not that big of a deal. Her basic attack restores 2% rage. Every ultimate unleashed permanently increases damage by 10%, true damage included, up to 3 times. So she goes up to 30% increased damage, total damage, not just regular damage, true damage and regular damage. And then her passive is increases attack by 30% during the ultimate. The boost becomes permanent after unleashing 3 ultimates. So pretty much after 3 ultimates, that's when she's at her max potential. At that point, she's gonna be doing a lot more damage. Now, her ultimate, what it does is she casts 1 lightning orb at the enemies. After that, the basic attack will additionally deal 60% true damage based on the hero's attack, which is why I mainly built her with high attack and not too much crit damage. Her true damage is going to be doing a lot more damage. Getting a higher attack roll, like if we had, like this is a flat attack roll here, that's good for her, and then no flat attack here. If we could get a flat attack instead of this HP and flat attack instead of this defense, we'd have to see, because we'd have to see if her survivability is still there, but that would increase her attack a good bit more, and maybe we could push that 14. Now, the reason I was ulting with her only when Constance was ulting is because Constance does her inspiration, and she's increasing Elysia's attack for 20 seconds, whereas her ultimate lasts 16 seconds. So what this is doing is it's just allowing her true damage to be boosted up that much more. So that's why we did it that way. Jira, she was consuming some of that radiant erosion, so she may have been hurting Elysia's damage a little bit, but all in all, let's see. We'll take this screenshot here. We'll go ahead and close that out. We'll take this screenshot here, which was from A5. She's at 27k, Jira is, and then A0, let's see, 28. Okay, so 28, 28, 27. We're at 27, 27, and 28. So it didn't change Jira's damage a whole lot. Good to know. But it did increase her damage, and that's the biggest thing. Her awakenings should increase her damage, and they do. The Verdict of Truth, this Lord skill that she has, I'm still fairly new at it, so I haven't done a whole lot of testing with it. I was just, for the sake of this test, doing it once it reached its max, which was 140% damage. 4 times and inflicting a stun. Now, the thing with this is, I don't know if this counts as damage from her, because if it does, it's also affected by her increased damage. And it is in fact affected by her passive, because this does increase, does base off of her attack. So if it also bases off her damage, it is also doing, 30% more damage as well, which is solid. That's why it goes up in damage. So, is she worth pulling for? Yes, if you don't have Praetus, but not necessarily the way that I did. You could pull 100 and not get her. You could pull 500 summons of Ancients and not get her. So she is by no means guaranteed. She is a random chance. We're approaching Christmas time, and there's going to be some crazy banners around Christmas time. I don't know exactly which ones they have coming out, but there is a leak of an Ingrid Ardea banner. There's no confirmation on it, but let me see if I can pull up the banner art. Yeah, here we go. So that's the banner art. So that'll be interesting if that comes to global. But yeah, I mean, we're looking at some banners. I would definitely recommend saving rather than spending like I did, but that's what you get out of it. I got to put this video out, and now it is time to go through the massive task of editing this. If you did watch it all, like I said before I inserted this part in, definitely feel free to give it a like, subscribe. I am looking forward to doing more tests, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.